You thought you'd finally found her, didn't you? The one woman who would love you honestly, fiercely, respectfully, the kind of love that doesn't fade, doesn't waver, and doesn't make you question your own worth. But instead, what you had wasn't love. It was a performance, a beautifully crafted illusion, a mask. She smiled like she meant it. She touched you like you mattered. She promised you things she never planned to keep. And the crazy part deep down, you always knew something felt off. That quiet emptiness wasn't confusion, it was truth knocking. Your soul felt the cracks long before your mind understood them. And today we're going to talk about those cracks because, gentlemen, and I say this with love, you didn't lose a good woman. You escaped a performance artist. Welcome to the Stoic Path. My name is Amelia, and today I'm revealing 5 signs she never truly loved you. The signs she hoped you'd never see. But once you do see them, your entire life changes. Because this isn't about bitterness, it's about clarity, it's about your power, it's about finally seeing the truth you've been avoiding. So let's dive in. Sign number 1, she never valued you as a man. Love isn't just a feeling, it's recognition. A woman who truly loves you doesn't just notice what you do. She feels who you are. Your presence, your grounded confidence, your masculine steadiness, that I've got this energy that real women relax into. But her, she couldn't feel any of it. You could have built mountains for her, and she'd still ask what else because she didn't value you. She valued the benefits of you. I once worked with a client, we'll call him Daniel, a successful entrepreneur, smart, loyal, generous. He told me, Amelia, I gave her everything. Trips, gifts, surprises. She never once said she was proud of me, and I told him the truth he never wanted to admit. She didn't fall for your energy. She fell for your effort. When a woman connects to a man's energy, she softens, she respects his silence, she trusts his leadership, she feels safe in his direction. But when a woman is blind to that energy, she treats your strength like a threat and your generosity like a right. If you felt invisible next to her, it's because she was never looking at you, only through you scanning for what you could offer next. Real love values the man, not the service. Sign number 2, she never appreciated your effort. Let me guess, you gave and gave and gave, hoping one day she'd finally see your worth. You apologized when you weren't wrong. You bent so she wouldn't break. You tried to be her peace, her protector, her anchor. But somehow the more you gave, the less she appreciated. Her appreciation never increased. Only her expectations did. I had another client, let's call him Michael. He said, Amelia, I thought if I loved her harder, she'd finally see how loyal I was. But here's the dark psychology of it. When you overgive, you train someone to undervalue you. Love is an exchange, not an extraction. When one person keeps giving and the other keeps taking, the polarity collapses. The man becomes drained, the woman loses respect, and the relationship becomes a slow emotional death. Overgiving weakens your masculine core. You shift from the man she desires to the man she can control. Love isn't proved through exhaustion. It's felt through balance, where 2 souls feed the flame, not one soul sacrificing itself to keep the fire alive. Sign 3, she never talked about the future energy. Never lies. Words do. And if she avoided talking about the future with you, it's because she already knew you weren't in hers. You might have heard things like, I love spending time with you, you're amazing, you make me so happy. But the moment you mentioned something with actual weight, living together, marriage, long-term plans, she dodged it like it was a bullet. She'd laugh it off, change the subject, act confused, or say, let's just enjoy the moment. Gentlemen, when a woman is in love, she can't help but speak in tomorrows. Her energy naturally moves toward the vision. She imagines growth, experiences, a life built side by side. Avoiding the future is not confusion, it's clarity. I worked with a client named Alex. He once told me, Amelia, we spent almost every weekend together, but anytime I talked about our future, she froze. I told him the reality he'd been avoiding. Her soul already planned its exit. Her body just hadn't left yet. It's like holding hands with a ghost. She's there, but nothing inside her is choosing you anymore. Stop confusing physical presence with emotional investment. If she couldn't picture you in her future, she was never loving you in the present. Sign number 4, she cared more about what you gave than who you were. Here's a truth most men don't want to admit. You can buy attention, you can buy affection, you can even buy intimacy, but you can't buy love. And this is where a lot of men fall into manipulation without seeing it. Because women who lack emotional depth or emotional maturity know exactly how to weaponize your insecurity. They know when a man is giving from wholeness and when he's giving from emptiness. That desperate need to feel chosen, validated enough. I had a client named Sam who said, Amelia, every time I bought her something, she was affectionate. But the next day, ice cold, I said, Sam, that wasn't affection, that was conditioning. She learned to reward you after you gave. You learned to give to avoid losing her. That's not connection, that's emotional gambling. If every moment of affection happened after you spent money, effort, or emotional labor, then she wasn't loving your soul. She was loving your service. When a woman only warms up after a transaction, whether financial or emotional, that's not partnership. That's dependency. That's convenience. That's exploitation dressed up as romance. True love sees the man behind the effort. If she only stuck around when you were giving, she wasn't with you. She was with your resources. Sign number 5, she wasn't there in your darkest moments. This separates real love from everything else. Because real love doesn't disappear when life gets dark, it deepens. If she bailed when things got hard, then she wasn't your partner. She was a passenger waiting for the next comfortable ride. I had a client who told me, Amelia, when I lost my job, she stopped answering my calls. She said she needed space. I told him, that's not space. That's abandonment. A woman connected to your soul doesn't run from your shadows. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She just needs to feel you. Energy reveals itself in darkness. And when things collapse around you, you learn exactly what her love was built on. If she loved the success, she'll leave when it falls. If she loved the status, she'll leave when it changes. If she loved the lifestyle, she'll leave when it slips. But a woman who loves you, the man, the core, the soul, she doesn't disappear when the world breaks. She steps closer. She holds your hand when you're standing in ashes, not because you're shining, but because she feels safe. Even in your shadow, if she vanished when you were down, she never loved you. She only loved the version of you that benefited her. Let her go because you didn't lose love. You lost the illusion. And illusions are meant to break. Here's the real truth, my friend. You didn't lose love. You lost the illusion of love, and sometimes illusions feel harder to let go of than real relationships because illusions are painted with your hope, your effort, your imagination. But once that illusion breaks, you start to reclaim your power. Most men blame themselves. They replay every moment, every fight, every imperfect detail, thinking, what could I have done better? Why wasn't I enough? How did she stop loving me? But this journey, your journey, isn't about where you fell short. It's about where she was never showing up. Because love isn't defined by who stays when life is easy. It's defined by who stands beside you when your soul is stripped bare. That's where real connection begins. That's where truth lives. That's where your future relationships will transform once you stop internalizing her absence as your failure. Her leaving wasn't your punishment, it was your protection. If anything in this video hit home, if you saw yourself in these words, if you're tired of repeating the same painful patterns, then this is your turning point, because the real work isn't about chasing better women. It's about becoming a man who no longer attracts the wrong ones, a man whose boundaries are unshakable, a man whose energy demands respect, a man who doesn't confuse potential with partnership, a man who knows the difference between being wanted and being used. When your energy rises, everything around you shifts. You don't chase love. You draw it in. You don't prove your worth. You embody it. The right woman won't be magnetized by what you can provide, but by who you are at your core. And once you rebuild that inner strength, those illusions you used to fall for, they'll never fool you again. If you're done feeling drained, done being taken for granted, done giving your heart to women who never truly chose you, then this is your moment. I invite you to book a private strategy call with me, Amelia, not to fix you, but to uncover you, to reconnect you to that masculine power you've forgotten, to rebuild the boundaries that protect your soul, to help you attract women who feel your energy, not just your effort. Together, we shift your frequency so the right woman can finally find you. You'll find the link in the description. Take the step, not for her, for you. And if this message spoke to you, if even one line made you stop and think, then drop a comment below and tell me which sign hit the hardest. I read everything. I respond directly. Your story matters here. And if you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with another man who needs to hear the truth. Because here on the Stoic Path, we don't guess, we see, we understand, we lead. I'm Amelia, and I'll see you in the next one.